Hi guys, welcome to the weekly free update. If you want to know more in between the week for the price of what probably you've lost on a trade or got liquidated or whatever for 1 month, you can get some education. Do all my trading in here, do videos, usually one a day on Bitcoin, altcoins. There's multiple education videos. There's over 20 at the moment. There's more and more to come. We're only on the basics stuff that is how I set up and analyze the charts and trade it. That's why I'm so accurate. So I told the guys here about this double top and that the target would be the trend line, and here we are. I also told them about this on the CME chart, the gap down here, and then that formed the double top, broke this range, come up underneath, drop down. This line was the target, was put here before. This was here in the student area in Discord, and it's hit the target perfectly. Look at it all on a candle underneath that line there. I spoke about here about this orange moving average, okay, and previous history with it on the weekly. And we could see a rejection off there, which has happened. Okay, currently we've got this, which could actually break out and up to here, and Bitcoin could actually drop all the way down to those prices I was talking about. This could be that moment, which lines up with the BTC chart. I posted this in there as well. You have the high to low, comes up, hits a 1272 and then drops. Here we've got the high to low, came up. I posted it right when it did it at this 1.272. I've told everyone in students that it was going to front run the gap, which it did. Okay, it dropped, 5 grand since then, or 4 grand. So if this continues to drop down to the bottom of this channel, then we see whether it bounces and then it will go up, or break the channel and then go down to the targets that I've been talking about. Okay, and then we can have a look at the levels chart. So I spoke about this trend line when this was all up here, saying that price just has to come down to there. It should just come down and test this trend line. I've got a feeling that it may come up, touch this MPOC, come down and retest the trend line again, or could just do it from here. But at some stage I think it's going to retest this trend line, and if it's later on, it would then line up down with this area here that I like for a long. If you've missed the short, then this is the area here that I'm looking at. This number, the NPOC, and it lines up with this fib pocket 0.72 line, okay, from high to low. First of all, it's got to break through this VWAP. Okay, it's just done that now. So now what we need this to do is to confirm this market structure of the high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then when it gets to here, We see what happens. If there's no reaction, there's no trade. But then we could see it reject off there and drop down, touch the trend line again. Now, I can't forecast the future, but that looks like something it could do. Or at some stage, as I said, it'll come down here. And the idea of long is that where I said down there, excuse me, and the short entry is up here. Okay. So if you don't know, we've broken this trend line all the way from 126k, which is the yellow trend line. This is the CME gap up the top here that I said it would front run, which it did. Okay, so we can see it a little bit better. So you can see it came up. I called it from all the way down here. It took this longer down here, and it would come up and touch this yellow trend line, which it did. Well, then it would reject and come down, but it's gone through. Okay, so this could be a bump and run pattern. Comes through, comes down, tests, might even test once more, a bit lower, which is common. And then, as I said, that would then line up with this green trend line and line up with those levels that I just showed you before, around 74, 73k, line up with the VWAP. Or this could be the touch and then it rips. Or you have the bearish scenario where this is the top. It's done a fake out. Everyone's gone bullish. Drops under the trend line. Drops under the green trend line. Fills the gaps. And then by then, if it's got down to here, well, it's broken the channel. And then if it breaks this line here, then it's gone lower than here, and we're looking down at that area that I spoke about for a while. So it all depends on what happens here, whether this is going to remain bullish and, as I said, have one more test to the trend line and then up, or up from here. But if we come under the trend line, we know that's trouble. So that's what we're looking at. I'll leave it with you. See you in the next weekly one. If you want to know more in between, then you know where to come into the Discord and get the student membership. See you there.